Hey kids, Phineas T. Walsh here. Welcome to the Fallout Shelter, the brand new children's show just for you. Kids, I mean. The rest of you can stay, if you behave yourselves. Welcome to the fifth and final part of our little reading from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. In the waning pages of Chapter 10, Lewis Carroll pokes fun at both a poem and a song that were well known to the three little sisters. The poem, The Voice of the Lobster, is a parody of The Sluggard, in which a rather stylish lobster in the parody replaces an exceedingly lazy sluggard in the original. And the song, Turtle Soup, is a parody of Star of the Evening, a popular song that the three little sisters actually sang for Lewis Carroll. A little tidbit that I enjoy telling you probably more than any of the others. Anyway, like before, I'll use subtitles to help you remember all of this. You ready to get started? Okay. Let's see what happens this time. I'll see you in the reading corner. Oh, what? Where? Oh, man. I don't believe this. Almost there. You don't want to know where I ended up. Welcome back to the reading corner. Shall we continue? Alice is about to recite The Voice of the Sluggard, or attempt to recite The Voice of the Sluggard. Chapter 10, The Lobster Quadrille. Stand up and repeat, "'Tis the voice of the sluggard," said the Gryphon. How the creatures order one about and make one repeat lessons, thought Alice. Might just as well be at school, at once. However, she got up and began to repeat it, but her head was so full of the lobster quadrille that she hardly knew what she was saying, and the words came very queer indeed. "'Tis the voice of the lobster," I heard him declare. "You have baked me too brown, I must sugar my hair. As a duck with its eyelids, so he with his nose trims his belt and his buttons and turns out his toes. Oh, wow, that's different from what I used to say when I was a child," said the Gryphon. "Well, I never heard it before," said the Mock Turtle, "but it sounds uncommon nonsense." Alice said nothing. She had sat down again with her face in her hands, wondering if anything would ever happen in a natural way again. "I should like to have it explained," said the Mock Turtle. "She can't explain it," the Gryphon said hastily. "Go on with the next verse." But what about his toes?" the Mock Turtle persisted. "How could he turn them out with his nose, you know?" "It's the first position in dancing," Alice said, but she was dreadfully puzzled by the whole thing and longed to change the subject. "Go on with the next verse," the Gryphon repeated impatiently. "It begins, 'I passed by his garden.'" Now, Alice did not dare to disobey, though she felt sure it would all come wrong, and she went on in a trembling voice. "I passed by his garden, and marked with one eye how the owl and the oyster were sharing a pie." "What is the use of repeating all that stuff," the Mock Turtle interrupted, "if you don't explain it as you go on? It's by far the most confusing thing I ever heard." Yes, I think you'd better leave off," said the Gryphon, and Alice was only too glad to do so. "Shall we try another figure of the lobster quadrille?" the Gryphon went on. "Or would you like the Mock Turtle to sing you another song?" "Oh, a song, please, if the Mock Turtle would be so kind," Alice replied so eagerly that the Gryphon said in a rather offended tone, "Well, no accounting for tastes. Well, sing her turtle soup, will you, old fellow?" The Mock Turtle sighed deeply and began, in a voice sometimes choked with sobs, to sing this. "Beautiful soup, so rich and green, waiting in a hot tureen, who for such dainties would not stoop. Soup of the evening, beautiful soup. Soup of the evening, beautiful soup. Beautiful soup. Beautiful soup. Soup of the evening, beautiful, beautiful soup. Beautiful soup, who cares for fish, game, or any other dish? Who would not give all else for 2 pennyworth only of beautiful soup? Pennyworth only of beautiful soup. Beautiful soup. Beautiful soup. Soup of the evening. Beautiful, beautiful soup. "Chorus again!" cried the Gryphon, and the Mock Turtle had just begun to repeat it when a cry of "The trial's beginning!" was heard in the distance. "Come on!" cried the Gryphon. "Ha ha ha!" And taking Alice by the hand, it hurried off without waiting for the end of the song. What trial is it?" Alice panted as she ran. But the Gryphon only answered, "Come on! Ha ha ha!" and ran the faster, while more and more faintly came, carried on the breeze that followed them, the melancholy words, "Soup of evening, beautiful, beautiful soup." And so ends Chapter 10. And so ends our reading. You know, Lewis Carroll for me... Oh, does anyone know how to stop this? Before I disappear again, I hope you enjoyed the reading. Whenever someone is mean to you, or worse, growls at you, try pulling out your favorite book and getting lost in it. You don't have to start at the beginning, just dive right in, it'll all come back to you. And I also hope I've inspired some of you to dust off your copies of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, or the sequel, Through the Looking Glass and What Alice Found There, and give them a read or a reread. Anyway, I better go. From the Fallout Shelter, I'm Phineas T. Walsh. Be safe out there.